I went out bow hunting with one mission on my mind: bring home fresh, lean protein for my family. Good news is, my options were abundant. With a perfect shot, I knew my deer wouldn't run far. I loaded her up and got to work. But before the job was finished, I made a big mistake. But as always, it was worth the work. Come with me on another awesome bow hunting adventure. Let's go!
Guys, what's up? Got this hat for Christmas, so I'm trying it out. Maybe it'll be a good luck charm. It's Saturday, December 27th at 4:30 in the evening. I just checked this camera below me, and the deer are really funneling through here after the 5 o'clock mark. My wind is perfect, blowing straight back towards the road. I shot my bow just before coming out, and I'm good, ready to shoot. I'm still sick, sitting in the same tree that 8 days ago I shot the biggest buck of my life at 15 yards right here. I'm looking at the spot. So let's sit back. It's hot. It's 70 degrees right now. See what moves before dark. Guys, I just got down to look at the arrow. It looks pretty good. I'm trying to not have a bunch of light because I saw the deer run over and stop over there about 70 yards from here. And I didn't ever really see her crash. So I don't know if she laid down up there. The arrow smells clean. Like I got straight long. I think that's long. Looks bubbly to me, but it could be liver. And if it's liver, I need to give her some time. I'm gonna look a few feet right here and see what this blood looks like, and then make a decision.
It's now 7:26, so I think I shot this deer at 5:45 maybe. We're kind of coming up on 2 hours since I shot the deer. I went and got in my truck and pulled around, and I'm sitting down the hill from where I last saw her, and I have a thermal monocular here that I'm charging that I'm hoping is going to allow me to spot her with no lights. I'm probably going to wait for a full 2 hours, and then I'm going to peek over this hill with this thermal, so I'll update you guys. But I'm going to watch the footage now, and then we'll track the recovery here shortly. Well, I looked down and found a little blood right here. And then I looked up. Bingo. She's a slammer. Slammer doe, man. Man, she's giant. Hit her a touchback, but right behind the shoulder. I think I got lungs and liver. Man, she is a slammer doe. Huge doe. Let's get her cleaned up. All right, guys, I got the truck parked right here beside the doe. I'm gonna load her up. I'm gonna gut her actually and lighten her up and then take her home, and I'm gonna string her up in my backyard and show you guys how I process my deer so that maybe you can think about saving some money on the processor and doing it yourself like I do. This sucker's heavy. Here's a better look at her. I'll go like this. 1, 2, 3, lift. Great shot, just a touch back. Should have been more like this. Got her hung up in the backyard, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a demonstration of how I cut up my deer so that you can take it and maybe think about saving some money, not taking your deer to the processor, and having a lot of fun processing your own deer. Not to mention, if you do it yourself, you know exactly what you're getting, and I think that I do it a lot cleaner than maybe a processor would. I don't really know what goes on at the processor, but I just like knowing what I've got. Whether it's steak or jerky or hamburger, whatever it is that I like to do, I know exactly what I've got. Start off by getting your deer hung, however you like to do that. Get a sharp knife. So you're gonna start off by skinning the deer. Put my knife right under the skin, pull up, pull and separate the skin from the meat. You just work it around, taking your time, separating the skin from the rest of the carcass. Part's the most tricky, off of the rib cage. So there's the hide. I've decided I'm actually going to do something that I've never done before, which is I'm either going to tan this myself or pay someone to tan it, because I've got some items that I want to make out of it. Now we start cutting off the meat. I start at the top up here and I cut out all the different muscle groups off of the legs. So I'm going to try to zoom in on it so that you guys can see what I'm doing and cutting out each muscle group. So we're going to start out here, and there's a knot right here. Cut just below that knot, go straight in right before you hit the femur and stop cutting. And then you want to run your knife right along the femur. I don't know if you can see that, but the femur bone is right there. Run right along, and there's a line right here that I cut on, and there's a line right here that I cut on, which shows you where that muscle group ends. So you'll run it down until it runs out, and then you can fillet it. And you can see how this one ball roast just falls out of this spot. fillet it off of that interior muscle and that silver skin lining there. And just one ball roast right off the front half of the leg. And I cut right down the middle, free up some tension, and cut right down that line. There's a line there and a line there. Fillets right off of here. You see it separating from this interior muscle, sheet muscle. I don't know what else to call it. One big whole chunk of meat. Here on this one, big slice off the back leg, and there's a small interior muscle right here above the back strap. But you got to be careful that you don't cut into the back strap because it does run right down to it. There's the back strap. This is a great muscle for hamburger. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. But I'm actually just going to do this whole one side of the deer. That way you can see it and then you can replicate it and do it on the other side. So now what I'll do next is come in with the inner tenderloins. I like to start at the bottom of those. Just lay it out. The tenderloin. Then we'll go to the back strap. Back straps, of course, run along the spine. We go in right beside the spine. And all the way down. That. Turn it up, and you can see where the back strap ends right here. Time and fillet it out of there. Before I get going too far, I like to take my hands and you can rip this fat silver skin off my hand just like that. You can see that. It just helps it get that back strap right out of there. Back strap. Now the only thing left on this side of the body is this front shoulder. There's no bone-to-bone connection on the front shoulder of a deer. So as you can see, there's a shoulder blade up here that you need to cut around. Try to show you this. Cut around the shoulder blade. Whole shoulder comes off in your hand. So So that's the whole right side of the deer. We'll turn around and do the same thing on the other side. Well guys, just about 5 seconds after I stopped talking and was gonna start the other side of the deer, I cut myself very badly. That's not good. So I'm gonna try to doctor myself up, and then I gotta go finish this deer. Be careful, don't do what I just did. Well, I got the deer all cut up. Got my finger doctored up, starting to hurt a little bit. It's getting late. I'm gonna sit here for a few more minutes, enjoy this fire while it burns out, and then that pretty much wraps up this video as far as what I do from the harvest to getting the deer in my freezer. I'll actually walk in there right now and show you how I've got it in my freezer, or actually in my refrigerator, dry aging it. I'm gonna do that for the next 14 days. Spare refrigerator here in the garage. I just do a metal cookie sheet. These are actually racks from my dehydrator. The reason I do that is to allow some air underneath and then even some blood to drain out into the pans. So that's how I do it. This isn't perfect. Ideally I'd have another rack because I just have this back strap on top, but I'm gonna keep them moving around. Got the 2 shoulders down there, but I'm gonna let them sit like this, keep checking on them for the next 14 days. It's pretty good from one deer. Quite a bit of meat there. If you're interested in how I get the meat from the dry aging process to freezer ready, and then even maybe how I prepare the deer, I'm gonna do 2 more videos on that, so stay tuned for those. Let me know in the comments specifically what you'd like to see on how I cut up the meat and process it, and then how I prepare it. Hope you guys enjoyed this hunt. It was a quick one, and I had a lot of fun here in late December, getting another bow kill done. Got a couple weeks left here in Georgia and several weeks left in Alabama. I should have a lot of hunts coming up soon. I appreciate you guys following along, and if you want to be notified when I post a new video, hit the subscribe button, but specifically hit that bell notification button so that you get notified when I release a new video. Please share this video with a friend. It really helps me out, and remember to live intentionally.